guys. Back. I'm Belize Spivey.
I'm Crystal Jordan.
And we are the Herpes Queens with the blankets. Blanket Chronicles. These are my baby's blankets, real
I know,
talk.
right? We don't turn them into like our super capes.
We are super.
We're Superwoman.
We are. So, Crystal asked 2 questions. If you have not watched the last 3 videos, this is our 4th video. If you have not watched the last 3.
Is it 3 or 4?
I don't know.
I think we were trying to do 4. I don't know, you guys. Y'all know how many videos we did. We weren't.
Yeah,
counting.
please go back and watch the last videos that we have
did.
done. We have talked about herpes. We have talked about dating. We have talked about celibacy, which we have talked about all of them.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about singleness, but now within our, we're going to go a little bit more deeper in singleness, talk about the purpose of singleness and literally doing your purpose while you're single.
And
finding it. So Crystal always asks her amazing questions at the end. So Crystal, what was your questions again?
So I had 2 questions, and we're both going to answer these questions.
Mm-hmm.
My first question is, how did you find your purpose?
Mm-hmm. Which is always hard. People always ask me.
And
this
how
question.
did you know? Like, how did you know that was your purpose? I think a lot of people. There's a difference between dreams and purpose, y'all.
Oh, huge.
We're gonna talk about that. Everybody has dreams, you know. So
but that's not your purpose.
It's not your purpose all the time. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you find your purpose and know what it was?
Mm-hmm. And
what did you do to start walking in it?
Okay, so my whole thing is after I end up getting diagnosed in 2009, and while I was diagnosed, I just did research, but I kind of went into denial mode. I just like whatever. I was in school for I was getting my bachelor's in business administration, so I always knew I wanted to be a business owner. From the time I was little, I did network marketing since I was 13 years old. I was in the game. I had been around millionaires all my life. I didn't know anything else. I knew I was going to be one of these.
Yeah,
I was gonna have all this
be
stuff.
Like y'all.
Like I knew it. I said at the end of it, I knew it because my mom put me around people like that. I knew about accountability. I knew about affirmations. I knew about all of this stuff. So I was like, at the end of that, I know for a fact this is what I want to do. But I knew I wanted to go to college because I wanted a college degree. So with that being said, I went to school. While I was in school, I was kind of like, oh yeah, I want to be a manager. But I was like, that ain't it. Like I can feel it. I mean, my whole thing is, I'm not gonna speak from a Christian standpoint. I'm gonna speak from how we really feel. What the heck is this feeling? What am I feeling? I'm feeling something, but I don't get it. And we'll always say, I feel something, but I don't understand this feeling. Like, I just feel like something's not right. I feel like I know I'm in the right place, but I'm not completely in the right place.
I feel like I should be doing more.
Like, that's it. Like, I know I'm supposed to be doing more, but I don't know what it is. But as we know, and it's something I learned, if you don't know what you should be doing, keep doing what was the last thing you heard. And my whole thing, you'll go back to how do you hear from God? My whole thing is you don't hear him what this, hey,
big
answer
boom
me.
Boy.
He is not a big boom.
It's your voice most of the time.
It is your voice. He sounds just like you.
He's not. You know that? Okay, so you know how, or a lot of people call it your conscience. Like, oh.
That's what it
spirit.
Is. Same thing.
Same thing. But you know how you know you're supposed to be doing something? And you're like, in your mind, you're nagging yourself. Like, do it. Why didn't you do it yet? You know you should be doing that.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all it is. And I think we're making it so religious.
We're looking at for like this.
Oh, hell. Stop looking at TV.
Mighty God.
Stop looking at TV. TV made us, what that man's name is, something Morgan, the old man who always Jesus. Yeah. Like, we think he's going to come down appear out the sky and he's just going to have a conversation with you. Now, some of us do have, encounters. So I'm a strong believer in that. But I'm just saying at the end of the day, you hear that
every
voice.
day-to-day basis. Yeah.
And my whole thing, you hear it clearly. And my whole thing, you know it is because it's always right. It ain't never wrong.
We're going to tell you to do something
It's never going to tell you nothing bad to do.
And it's no confusion. It's always very direct, clear cut. So like, okay, I was raised, my mom made me understand at a very young age how to understand that God will speak to me. I was like, well, mommy, I don't understand. And the way that she taught me, she said, when God speaks, it's very straight and to the point. Mm-hmm. And she said, sometimes it's not even a full sentence. It's a word. Go. Stop. No. Don't. It makes sense. Mm-hmm. And you don't
need to have to question
it. You don't have to question it and be like, well, how do I? And I mean, there are times where
you're going to do that because he may give you one word like no, and you're like, no, why?
But I didn't even do it. I was thinking about it. No. Like,
but we act like kids.
We act like little kids, right? and we are. We're children. But that was how I learned. And then my sister, who I also get it from, is a firm believer in asking for confirmation and signs. Like, my sister and I are like the queens of asking for ridiculous stuff. And I'm not telling y'all to be asking for it, but when you get to a certain relationship with God, you can ask Him to show you in any kind of way, and He will do it. You could be like, God, if this is you, I need you to send a red Ferrari at the stoplight to blink its lights 5 times and honk the horn at me.
He knows how we are. He knows we're not believers by default. Truth be told, we're not believers by default. That happened with Adam. We're not a believers by default.
And I'm not saying that at that moment, we have to realize it. Just because you're asking for a sign doesn't mean you're gonna get it right away. Mm-mm. So because you didn't see that red Ferrari with the stoplight with the blinking 5 times and honking the horn at you, doesn't mean you're gonna get it. You might get it. You might get it 2 days later. You might get it 2 years later. Or you
might not get it at all because He knows you're in a better level than that you don't need.
Because you didn't need it.
Yeah, and sometimes the thing about it is we have to understand our own level. And I think that's what we tend to fail. We think our level is somewhere.
Because people like, now you're just being extra. Sit down.
Yeah, you heard me.
You heard.
You heard me.
I said what I said. He's a parent. He's like, I said what I said. That's like asking your mama, okay, we say this all the time about, like, when we're supposed to do stuff, and God, you're like, okay, Daddy, can I have this? And you're like, did you do your homework?
No. But that's not what
You know how your mom tells you, like, Mommy, can I go outside? And did you do your homework? And you'd be like, and you walk off, and then you come back. Did you do your homework? Yeah, let me see it.
God dang! I didn't do all of it!
Then you show it to me, like, this ain't right.
You get so frustrated.
This ain't right. Go do it over. But that's how He operates.
But He does that because He's preparing you for what you ask for. Truth be told, it's not always a no what you asking for. It's just the fact that you're not prepared to even receive what you ask for. So with that being said, guys, like, my whole thing is I didn't really know. I knew I was supposed to been doing something. I knew, I went to Auburn, so Auburn always prepares us to be leaders. They prepare managers, owners. That's what they prepare us for. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I was like, okay, I did all the resumes. I went to job for management positions. I got one. I could have worked at Waffle House, which most people down Waffle House people, but they get paid, baby. Okay, so don't knock them. Don't knock McDonald's. They make 100,000. Based off their performance at their location, they get bonuses at the end of the year. So don't play. Like, if that's something you want to do, go for it. If that's something you're interested in. But at the end of the day, it didn't feel right. Like, I went for a Waffle House. I started training before I was even out of school. I was going to start working right off the bat. I was like, this ain't it, though. This ain't it. I said, I don't feel right. And I said that I had a son. I was like, who's going to watch my son? I'm in Alabama.
Those hours. Oh, yeah.
The hours are ridiculous. If somebody don't come to work, I have to stay. All holidays, I have to work.
You get called in.
I just never leave. I got to do every position. And I was like, I get paid good. Because, starting off, I was getting paid, I think, the low end was like 45. And then my bonuses. And as I go up, I make more. And for me, I was like, well, that's not bad coming through the door, type thing. And great benefits. And you get, you were able to get shares in the company. And they had really good stuff. So I was like,
we're really promoting y'all right now. We can get some hash browns or
hashtag
Waffle House
management. Okay. Yeah. But at the end of the day, guys, I was on my way of trying to do that. And I was like, it just don't feel right. So I came home. And I was staying with my mom, I think, at that time. And I was walking around like, what the heck am I supposed to be doing? And I just kept like, what am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be doing? And by then, my relationship had built with Christ then. By then, I was way better than I ever been. Then I was able to have a conversation and not feel weird, type thing. And I was like, what should I be doing? I kept hearing herpes activist. I was like, shut up, no. Right. Like, and then you're lying. Like, I'm not doing,
you start rebuking the stuff that God tells you to do. You're like, I rebuke it. Hey, I'm not doing that.
The devil's never going to tell you something that's going to serve other people. I'm sorry. He's just never going to tell you something that's going to benefit people who need it. Truth be told.
We be around here rebuking stuff that God telling us to do.
Yeah.
We be rebuking ourselves and God for no reason.
because it's scary. It's scary. It was scary because he told me that. He told me that.
Honestly, y'all.
I think he told me that before I even knew I was pregnant.
So this is what I learned, though.
And it took me 7 years to do it.
A lot of the things when I realized when God talks to me, it doesn't make sense to me. And
I'm supposed to.
It doesn't. It's not for me to figure out. But I realized that, like, when it sounds crazy, like when I'm saying when it sounds like beyond ridiculous.
It's like, what is that?
Crazy is God. Because that one never tells me to do anything that's like ridiculous. Most of the time it makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
His stuff is basic.
It's convenient.
Yeah, it's something you don't have to grow in. You don't have to do anything in. And you don't surely got to be out of comfort zone.
God tells me to do stupid stuff. Like, move to Atlanta.
Yeah, she moved.
For what? I was trying to go back to school. And I'm like, I got everything in order. I'm going back to school. And he's like, move to Atlanta. And I'm like, but, excuse me?
She put that off for a little. Remember that?
Put it off for like 6 months.
I was like, come on.
I was like, I got no money. I don't know. What? No.
We got a game plan together. That girl came too, boy.
But, yeah. Most times he tell you to
and he's going to send a person to help you. Like,
he
man.
funds his ideas. God only funds them. That's hot. He only funds his own idea. He only funds his ideas.
Yeah, I remember when he said that.
And it's true. There's always provision in the stuff that he tells me to do.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds ridiculous. And I'd be like...
It's out of comfort
he'd be like,
zone.
it's always out of comfort zone. He'd be like, do this. And he provides it. So, that leads to the question. How did you start walking in your purpose?
So my biggest thing, like my whole thing, as soon as I had a clear, like I said, I went home and I heard that, but I ignored it. I'm not gonna lie, I ignored it. I was like, I don't want to hear that crap. And I think it was. I don't even think it was. I think it was a holiday. I don't even think I wasn't even pregnant yet, because I heard it and I was like, whatever. And I went back to school and I started looking for herpes support groups. And that's when I really got into watching support groups, and I started helping people then. Mm-hmm. And I was in college then, helping people on the back. Nobody knew I was helping nobody. I was helping in the background. I seen the mental health effects that herpes was having on our community, and that was across the globe. I was in a group with like 10,000 people at the time, and I'm sure that group now is like way over 100,000 plus. But I met people from other countries with a religion barrier and a language barrier who was just struggling, willing to kill us. I said, no, God. I said, one thing I'm not going to do is let people die. I said, it's not that serious. I said, yeah, I'm still struggling. Yeah, I'm still doing stuff I ain't got no business doing, but I refuse to let people die over something that they don't have to die about. It's people out here, and at that time, my friend had found out she had HIV, so I was like, if she's not going to die, for a motherfucking fact, you ain't dying.
Not over this.
So, I was just like, no, absolutely not. So, at that time, I was just, talking to people in my inbox, like, inbox me if you want to talk, and things like that, and I always knew I was pretty good at comforter and things like that, so I just started talking to people, and God was like, see, you're a herpes activist. And then I started marketing myself, I'm a herpes activist. Type thing. But it wasn't nothing I broadcast. It was just only the group. I was like, call me or you need me. And I started talking to people. Then I ended up getting pregnant with Hayden. And I still did it, but not as heavy. I kind of froze. I fell out a little bit because at the end of the day, I was a mom then. But he was teaching me, okay, now I'm going to tell you another level. You did a level of just finding out and being single. Now you're a mom. You're a single mom. So I dealt with a season of dealing with that, going back, learning my relationship with Christ again and things like that. And then I got even stronger, and I heard it more and more like, this is what you're going to do. I was like, okay, I guess. And I still was doing the support group stuff, but still, like I said, not as heavy. And then as time went on, I started to really start doing it heavier and heavier, start talking to people and stuff like that. And then I ended up graduated on time and stuff like that. I went home, and after I went home, dealt with stuff in life as I always do, still talking to people like I always do. I was still doing that. I was content. I said, I'm doing my purpose. I thought I was doing what I'm supposed to be doing. He was like, oh, no, baby. That's on a low scale.
You haven't touched it.
I had to just get you comfortable.
I had to get you comfortable saying the name.
Right. So I was like, okay. So I ended up meeting my ex-husband, and I told him he was real comfortable with it. So I was like, okay, I'm in another relationship with this and things like that. And he wanted to get married. So, okay, crap, I can really get married. So now I was in another season.
Another level, yeah.
So he was letting me go through every season. And I feel like that's something we have to understand. He'll tell you what to do, and then he'll work you in every season. So now you are beneficial in every season for whoever you're supposed to be serving. You're not just in one area.
I don't think people realize that in purpose or just in general with God, you don't get a playbook.
Mm-mm.
The Bible is a playbook.
Yeah,
that's about the biggest. That's it.
But that's the end results. He told you this what happened, and he tell you exactly how it's gonna turn out.
But when he talks to you about what you're supposed to be doing in your purpose,
he working for you. He make you play it.
He'll show you bits and pieces. It's almost like a trailer to a movie.
Oh, I love those.
So you know how you see a movie trailer and they just show you clips
good part, bad part, sad part.
They're like,
they work your emotions. Like, it's like this.
Yeah, they play with your emotions. They do the roller coaster, and you have no idea what's in the middle. Mm-hmm. And you're like,
you don't even know how it got to that part.
But you see it, and you're like,
ooh, that's good.
Ooh. That don't make no sense, but it look good.
I'm going to see it.
Realistically, most of the movies we go see it because it looks like it makes absolutely no sense. Or we have to see why.
But it pulls your emotions. It's an emotional trigger.
Yeah, so it's like happy, sad, rich, poor.
Yeah.
Big boom. Nothing.
Survive.
And then it's like cliffhanger. Did they live? Did they die?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just like,
which they always do.
Which is why we have sequels to stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's what God does with you. Like, that's what he did with me. So, okay, so two purpose. I guess I answered my own question. Mm-hmm. How to know what my purpose was. I didn't.
She asked me that so many times. She's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't know until... Okay, so that goes to the difference between dreams. And so, I was in school for pharmacy. Mm-hmm. Went to Florida A&M University. Woo, Rattlers. Mm-hmm. Hey, y'all. I loved every moment of it. And like you, I was raised in a household where I was taught to be an entrepreneur. My mom actually went to FAM, graduated with she has an MBA. Mm-hmm. So she's very business-minded. As a kid, I was raised to have my own business. By the time I was like 7, I was doing all kinds of little stuff. She had daycare. I was the activities coordinator. You know, I was like, when the kids come in, when I get home from school, we're doing dance class, and then we're doing arts and crafts. Like, I was very organized. By the time I was 10, I had a babysitting service, which I turned into a nanny. And at some point, I had my friends working for me. It was like, hey, y'all are going to be my backup nannies. Mm-hmm. So very business-minded, same way. And decided I was going to go to school for pharmacy because all I knew was I liked science. I liked to mix things up. And I was really good at memorizing the brand versus generic names for medications and understanding what they do and what they're for. So that was my thing. Mm-hmm. Thought that was my purpose. Like, I'm going to go to school. To me, that was purpose. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to be a pharmacist. I may even start my own practice, and I'm just going to be Dr. Crystal Jordan, and at the end, life happily ever after, make $100+ a year. Sound great to me? God had other plans. So when I found out that I had herpes, about a week later, God immediately said, use it. And just like you, I was rebellious and I was disrespectful with it. I was like, oh, you tried life. And I said it just like that. He was like, use it. And I said, use what? He said, herpes. I said, for what? What am I going to do with this?
You know how many people hear this calling?
Other than
and folks ignore it.
I was like, what am I going to do with this other than throw it in the trash? Use what? He's like, you're going to use it to help people. You're going to use it to change lives. And I was just like, again, I will, and just like I said in the last video, I was like, I will talk about anything but that. Because I also thought growing up that my purpose was in my narcolepsy. I was like, you're going to be a spokesperson. Nobody ever talks about narcolepsy. Nobody really knows what it is. Mm-hmm. You're going to tell the world, blah, blah, blah. I was down for that. I used to go around telling people, explaining to people all the time. Didn't know that had nothing to do with my purpose. And I may have dabble in it a little bit later, but it's not what he called me to do. And so when I found out I had herpes, he said use it. And I was like, no, I don't want to. I don't care. It's about me. I was being very selfish. Found you guys. I found Bliss and her support group. Actually, right after you started it. And
so that if I did not do my purpose, Crystal
had
wouldn't.
she not, and that's why I want you guys to understand how important your purpose is. Your purpose is literally linked to someone's life. Yep. And their purpose as well. You literally, in your purpose, regardless of what it is, literally have the ability to save lives and birth other people's purpose. So had Belize not been obedient to her purpose,
she didn't want to.
She didn't want to. Most people don't.
I was scared out of my mind.
I either would have never walked in it, or mine would have been extremely delayed. God would have found a way.
Oh yeah, because somebody else would.
Somebody else would have been obedient.
You know how many people come to me in my inbox on a regular saying they want to be a herpes activist, and God said, "You better speed up. Mm-hmm. You better speed up because somebody else is going to be faster."
God
than
is
you.
always, and He's laid that on my heart about many things. I told you that about some of the things that He wants me to do.
He's like, I can't wait on you.
He told me, he said, do it now or I'll give it to somebody else. Mm-hmm. And I have literally been like, please don't give it away, God. I'm going to do it. He's like, I ain't playing with you.
Because people need you. And I'm not saying, and I want y'all to understand what I'm saying. I want so many more activists. But at the end of the day, where God want me to take me, he said, I want you to go. But if you don't go,
these people can't go. They can't do it.
I got to find somebody who's willing to go. He's like, and I got some people in my background who ready. I'm waiting on their confidence and obedient to it. You know, they may be struggling with their confidence and things like that. But at the end of the day,
we got to realize that as much as God loves us and as much as we're his precious jewels, and as much as we're the apple of his eye, we ain't the only one.
Oh, no.
There was always somebody willing to take your place and willing to do it. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, but I make you understand that
you got to do
your
his work.
calling is also somebody else's calling, and the work got to get done. And he don't care who he got to use to do it or what, because it don't have to be a who. The Bible says the rocks will cry out.
Somebody got to do it.
Somebody has to do it. So if Peter Rabbit has to get on here and talk about herpes for somebody to get the message they need to do, he's gonna use whatever he has.
Like y'all heard the whole thing with Usher. That whole Usher thing was to rile up what was really going on. Which is already going on. People giving it to people and not disclosing. That is a huge issue.
Right.
It's a huge issue, and something needs to be done.
And Usher, baby, if you're watching this, that was for you too.
It needs, and I don't know if he did it or not. That's really not my business.
I don't know if you're doing it. That's not our place. But
yeah. He was being used. He was being used to rile up a real big issue that's happening within the herpes community. Yeah. Why the virus continued to get passed on person to person because people are scared, truth be told. Whatever his situation is, and I know how it is, I have been a person who have not disclosed. It is scary to disclose.
It's hard.
Especially when the world is telling you're just the most nastiest person in the universe.
And my gosh, I can only imagine for someone of his stature.
Yeah.
Like, the whole world. Okay, think about it.
I didn't talk about it, y'all. It bothered my soul.
It hurt for us to decide to do this and decide to not even just decide, just decide to disclose. Period. Mm-hmm. So I can only imagine for somebody who the world adores, and has on a pedestal, and whose livelihood literally
lies in
people's opinions. Because in that industry, it's all about what people think of you. Mm-hmm. 1 minute you're in, 1 minute you're out.
Because if I don't like what you're doing, I'm not spending no money on you. If I don't like what you're doing,
I'm not spending any money on you. If I don't like what you look like tomorrow, I'm not spending or anything like that.
That was rough.
If we don't like who you're dating, they boycott. Like, realistically, in the entertainment industry, every little thing goes against you. So I can only imagine what that was like. Because on a small scale for us, it's hard.
It's hard. So just imagine if y'all were getting that type of scrutiny. I mean, everybody. I'm talking about every YouTuber. And
social media is cruel. We got memes for days.
We had memes. We had people
making videos. People doing skits.
Everybody was doing skits.
And they taking pictures of you and putting captions on it and changing it.
Breakfast Club went in, boy.
People went in on
everybody was talking about it. Every talk show, you could not turn your head.
You couldn't get away from it.
Yeah. So just imagine how he felt about that.
And this isn't just in the country. This is something that was worldwide. Mm-hmm. He's a worldwide known artist, so it's not like he's just like a little old run of the mill.
No, he's been around since
local artist that maybe only a small hometown knows about. No, he been in the game for a minute.
That was rough.
So I can only imagine what that was like. But as far as our purpose goes, had she never been obedient and done what she was supposed to do, it would have either delayed or God would have had to send somebody else along the way to start mine. And then even when it comes to, because I feel that there's purpose in celibacy, which is why this video started, y'all.
Yeah, it was only about celibacy.
It was only about celibacy.
But God got away. Everything
God has a way. He merged our purposes.
Yeah.
And what you'll realize is that a lot of times God will give you dual purpose. So I feel like when it comes to herpes and celibacy, God gave me dual purpose. Mm-hmm. He said, I want you to do this and I want you to do this because they're going to be tied to each other. Mm-hmm. Because realistically, it was dual purpose. Because you didn't have anybody to talk to about celibacy. Mm-mm. Before we became, there were things, I didn't have anybody to talk to about herpes before I met her. She didn't have anybody to talk to about celibacy.
Nope.
And we were both brand new to these areas of our lives when we met each other. So your purpose is to help. Your purpose is never for you. So how I started walking in this purpose, I met her. I was exposed to part of my herpes. And
she was seeking help first.
I was seeking help,
and then
realized
it was her purpose in the process.
And
sometimes you got to seek out your help in the area that you need
to work in.
Yeah, that you need to work in. And that's why I always tell y'all, get the help that you need, because most of the ladies I talk to, after I help them, they tell me they want to be an activist.
Yeah. And so
my whole thing, get the help. So now you can be an activist, but you cannot be an activist without getting the help.
In seeking out that help, I realized, not just realized because I already knew.
Yeah. Oh, it's always confirmation.
It was confirmation, and in getting help made me more open to it and more willing to do it. So then I decided to change the counseling into a mentorship. And the mentorship just moved to a friendship. Now she's stuck with me forever, y'all. She can't get rid of me if she wants to. So I was able to be transparent in areas that I wasn't able to. And then in that, God was like, okay, now that you're being obedient. There we go. Now that you're being obedient in this area, I can show you what I really want you to do. And so, like I said, God's like a parent, you get tidbits, bits and pieces. Like with your kids, you don't give them full on permission to do everything at one time.
If they can't handle it.
If you have a 2-year-old, you're not going to hand them the keys to your car and say, go to the store, go get what you need. Who's going to do that? You can't handle that. And so that's what he did with me and my purpose. He's like, okay, I want you to do this. And when you get okay in this area, I'm going to give you this. And when you get here, I'm going to give you this. And he's still giving us stuff.
What?
Oh, we ready.
My God.
So, it's a roller coaster. It is. But it's awesome.
It's worth it. But this is the beauty that you do in singleness. I'm not going to lie, y'all. As much as I was married, as much as I was single. I mean, literally, I got so quiet. My husband barely seen me. I was literally, all those videos y'all seen, I was linked to my computer because God said go. As soon as I got the okay from my husband, work. He barely seen me. I was linked to the, look, you're so silly. I was linked to the computer. I was doing this. I was doing that. I was working hard. He stayed on my way, truth be told. He stayed on my way, and I was so focused. I'm like, I don't really care what you got going on in your life because I'm about to get it. Like, I'm about to get it. I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
And that's why it's important for us to build that habit and do it in singleness so that when you do get into a marriage, your marriage is you already know that your marriage is going to complement your purpose. Mm-hmm. So that won't even be an issue. It's not going to be in the way. It's not going to be like, oh, you're in the way and you don't talk to me because you always doing this. Oh, God. You don't have time for me anymore. You have arguments. You don't love me anymore. You don't have any time. That's not going to be an issue. Because it's nipped in the bud. The purpose was addressed from the beginning.
Like you already know.
Right, you already know something to do. So when I go to make a video, it's like, yeah, she always making videos. She'll never spend no time with me. Girl, you knew I made videos from the day you met me. That's not an issue.
Yeah, most people have that problem because they wasn't doing anything before
they weren't doing anything before. Yeah, they weren't doing anything in singleness.
Yeah.
So, I think that's something to figure out.
I think that's all of it.
I think so. Well, you guys, I think we're ending our Herpes, Celibate, Single, and Dating series for now.
Yes! Blanket.
Helps. Blankets on.
Blanket Chronicles.
Right, Blanket Chronicles complete.
So I'm excited. I hope this really helps you guys in so many ways. You can reach out to me at overcomingthestigma@gmail.com, and you can reach out to Crystal at
acceptingtheunacceptable@gmail.com.
All right. So we love you guys. If you know where to find us, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.